Hey guys, welcome back here to the B&M project here in Parkitect. Welcome to all those new subscribers out there that have joined me recently in the last couple of weeks. Welcome to my channel. This is my B&M project, one of 3 projects that I'm currently working on, and this is just focusing on a single roller coaster, whereas my other creations, I've got the water park, which is a full water park build, and I also have the Maverick recreation from Cedar Point, which I'm also working on. So today's episode is on this B&M coaster, Vigilante, that's its name, and I'm just carrying on here with the custom support work, which I left off with last week. I'm just going to whiz through some of it. I'm just doing the turnaround here, which goes through the loop. I'm doing the same process as I did previously on the other elements, doing the poles, the flanges, doing the little track connectors, and then adding in the footers and doing all the bolts and things on the end there. So you'll see some of that in this episode. I'm going to skip through some of it. Like I said, it does get very samey when watching it, and so I'm just showing you parts of it, and you get the idea on how I've done it here. So you can kind of see. I haven't got to show you every single part of the layout because it really did take a long time, and I don't want to bore you guys. But the main thing today really is moving on and doing the mid-course brake run, and I shall get onto that later on in this episode. But the mid-course brake run is something that many coasters have, especially B&M coasters. There are a few B&M roller coasters that don't have one, and I can think of 2 off the top of my head. One being Hydra at Dorney Park, and one being Demon at Tivoli Gardens in Denmark. So those 2 don't have one. They're quite smaller B&Ms, I would say. Well, Hydra's not that small, but if you can think of any other B&M coasters that don't have a mid-course brake run, then tell me what it is down below, because I'd love to know. But most of them do have a mid-course brake run, and basically what the mid-course brake run is, it's just a section of track with some brakes, and it basically just means the coaster can actually run more trains. Once that train has passed the mid-course brake run and into the second section of the ride, another train can then do the first part of the layout, and the trains won't collide, because if there was an incident, the train that's on the first section of the track would actually just stop in the mid-course brake run if, to say, the train in the second section had valleyed. This just means basically you can have more trains on the track. So not a B&M, but Steel of Vengeance at Cedar Point is an RMC, probably one of the only RMCs that has a mid-course brake run, and this allows it to run more trains. And that's just a quick example there off the top of my head. Running more trains means higher capacity and more people going through the ride every hour, which means it has a higher throughput, and this is obviously a great thing for theme parks. I personally find mid-course brake runs a little bit annoying. If I think off the top of my head now, Silver Star from Europa Park, it's not my favourite B&M hyper in the world. It's not really particularly the greatest of rides in my opinion, but the mid-course brake run really kills it. Like you're kind of having a good time, all the airtime heals and everything, and then suddenly you smack into this mid-course brake run, and it really kills a lot of the speed. You don't stop, but it really does slow down the speed, and then you carry on and you think, I really would like to do the second part of this layout with a bit more speed. And that was the same as well a little bit with Mako in SeaWorld. Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, obviously I get it. The coaster can run more trains, which is great for the park. I just don't like it when they trim the speed down, and I find that really annoying, and especially on B&M coasters. I really find that most of the time on B&M coasters, the mid-course brake run slows you down. Other coasters don't really have their mid-course brake run on so strong, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, so the mid-course brake run, really important for a B&M design. It's something that most of them have, and I wanted to include it in this layout as well. So I'm just doing the supports here for this little curved section by the station with the corkscrew, which actually leads kind of up into the mid-course brake run area, which I shall get onto very shortly. But yeah, the support work here again, doing the same thing as I've done before, like I said, and I'm just doing the footers here, and I shall go around and do each individual bolt. I do place these manually, which is really kind of time consuming, but it looks great in the end. And like I said, before, these things take a long time, but in the end it's worth it, especially with this project. I'm trying to achieve some like ultra realism within the game. Obviously this game is not that realistic, but trying to create something realistic in the game I find quite amusing. And so yeah, doing this kind of stuff is really important for me, especially with this project. But in general, when I build rides, I like to do things that are realistic looking. So I've just finished that little curvy section there, and now here we go with the mid-course brake run. So I always like to kind of get the train on there and pause the game just so I can see the height levels, so I can do the catwalks at the right height. And then I'm just going to go in and do like the normal stuff that you would find on this type of section of ride. So I'm going to do the access stairs. If the train coaster was to break down and the train stopped here and the guests had to get off, there needs to be some evacuation stairs, so I shall add those in. And it's actually quite handy here, as my mid-course brake run is very close to the brake run at the end of the ride, so I can actually connect those two areas together with a little footpath. This is also great because if the ride was to have maintenance, then the guy doing the maintenance would come to the brake run area and the transfer track, and he could easily get to the mid-course brake run as it's not too far away. So it kind of worked out quite well. I'm just using the catwalk mod here to do this, and really I would like to have spiral stairs on a B&M. Some of them have these kind of stairs, but most of them have a spiral stairs, but there's no spiral stairs available in the game or in any of the mod sets. So I just had to make do with doing like a I don't know what you call that, like a zigzag stair. It looks fine. Like I said, would rather have a spiral, but it's okay for this. And now I'm just kind of doing some terra painting just to join up those areas. And as you can see, it's quite close. And I actually think this worked out. I didn't plan it at all. It just kind of worked out that way. And I'm really happy with how that kind of looks. I think it looks really like, it's really like a little access point there from the backstage area. So I'm kind of happy with how that's looking. On top of the brake run there, I just did some lights along the catwalks and stuff, just to add a little bit of extra detail. And now I'm just going to go in and do some kind of custom supporting, the stuff that you've seen me do previously in this episode and in the episode before. I'm just going to place some beams down and just kind of work out where everything goes and where all the diagonal crisscross pillars and stuff should go, what looks aesthetically better and what suits the attraction more. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit as well, just so I don't bore you guys with doing all this kind of support work. Doing the footers as I always do. And yeah, let me know if you're enjoying this project so far. I think you are. I'm enjoying doing it. I enjoy making these videos as well. I always say I find it hard to talk for this long in a video, especially about a subject like mid-course brake runs. But I hope you guys who didn't really know what a mid-course brake run kind of was or what it did, I hope you maybe learned something from this video, from me talking about it. Or if you did know before, then thanks for listening. But yeah, if you're enjoying this, let me know down below. And if you want to see me do some other projects or anything, then also do let me know. I've actually been thinking recently if any of you guys would like to see something different from me in a video. I mean, I play a lot of Parkitect, and I obviously love doing it. But I also love roller coasters and theme parks, and my videos don't have to just be Parkitect. They could be about my favorite coasters or theme parks, etc. So if that's something that you're interested in watching or listening to, let me know down below, and I'll see if I can get around to making that sort of content as well for my channel. But thanks for watching. As always, I always appreciate you guys coming along and giving me a thumbs up and liking and subscribing and supporting my work here in Parkitect. I'll just leave you with a couple of screenshots here, but thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you all next time for another episode. Bye.